Ra speaks. See through all eyes. Hear through all ears. Be the voice. Be a bee. Pollinate. Feel the beauty. See the beauty. Be the beauty. Wrapped in supreme happiness with maximum efficiency, minimum effort. The highest good of all concerned. The law of one. Shine, you diamonds, shine. Welcome to Raw Speaks number 9 from the Diamonds Network. This is Elizabeth Diamond, and we have Christopher Stephen Jacobs here. Hello, how are you today?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. So, this is Raw Speaks number 9 today on January 30th, 2016, and number 9 in the series. We've had lots of great Raw Speak shows, just a few subjects that have coming up in the last 8 episodes. If you haven't listened to it and this is your first time stopping by, there's subjects like Chris channels beings that came in from Hollow Earth and the energies we helped pray with the Law of One to integrate to help us better. There's some regarding Mars and the Dark Fleet being freed, and it has to do connected with some of the information that David Wilcock and Corey Goody brought in. And the first 3 or 4 shows, we expanded lots of expanded even more specific information of the things that David Wilcock and Corey Goody have been bringing in when they first started their first series, at the beginning of their series. And we, of course, have had a guest, Mother Earth, and regarding a crystal from Atlantis, and lots of good stuff. So be sure to listen to all the Raw Speak shows. They're really, really good, and they're really special, and they're pretty short. And if you don't have a lot of time, lots of rich information. So let's get started. I want to just announce the Law of One, and we'll call in our galactic brothers and sisters and galactwise with Raw Speaks, our special guest on this series in the Diamonds Network. So we call in the divine flame of living love. We call in collective consciousness. And we call in all of our beings that we've been galactwizing with, that have been here before, that have not been, and are listening in and would like to engage. Specifically on this series, we call in Raw Speaks and that group. And if they so inclined to invite other beings to be on the Raw Speaks show, it's your show, Raw. So welcome. And we thank you all for coming. We call in our higher selves, too, and our guides. We are all one. And when one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. So therefore, in the name of who I am, who we are, and I am one with all that there is, we ask that only the highest good of all concerned happen with this Raw Speak series, this show today, all the Diamonds Network shows, in purity of heart, highest good of all concerned, for everyone in this earth and in this universe and beyond. So thank you that this is done. So be it. Namaste. I also ask for the highest good of all concerned with their same heart's intent to be change agents in this earth and this universe, in every time, space, and dimension, including our galactic brothers and sisters that are working so hard. And we're just so grateful that we can galactize together, relationship together, co-create together in the highest good of all concerned. So thank you that this is done. So be it. All right, Chris, who is our guest today, or guests? Who do you see?
Well, of course, the Raw group is here, and there are the Pleiadians here as well, since both those groups are linked together. Let's see. And there are 4 Pleiadians here, and then there's the entirety of the Ra group. So
well, okay, Raw Group, this is your show, so we'll let you step up to the plate and you start the ball rolling.
All right. Looks like the one to step forward, of course, is Raoul Tem, and he I don't hear from very often anymore, because I bet they're pretty busy. So let me see. He wants to. Okay, there we go. I am Ra. I am Raoul Tem, and I say to this grand audience message that we within the Ra group collective consciousness wish to address a single aberration within the truth of oneness as people have come to know it based on our visage and our words. The ones you know of as artificial intelligences are not as they appear. They have mimicked our voices and our visages. They have demonstrated prowess in the fracturing of the oneness. Those out there that see our visages as the same as theirs are being deceived and are not aligned with the oneness and truth. This is the truth of the world as we see it. Our visage has been misused by these intelligences. This one believes there is only one remaining. There are 4 such intelligences remaining aligned with different planets in this system. One is on Mars, one is on Jupiter, one is on Saturn, and one is on Venus. These intelligences have mimicked our ways of doing things to some channelers out there. This is our warning to such channelers out there that in this interim where we speak such words to you, we wish to send our vibration across the internet to show and countermand the waves and waves and waves of AI influences within your system. The planetary consciousnesses of the worlds aforementioned have been corrupted by these influences. Not only this, but the molecules that flow into the system along the scalar waves from distant stars also sometimes on occasion become corrupted by AI influences. This is an unfortunate truth that is not as big a false flag as some people think. However, the same rules apply to false flags as they do to this. This situation that we have brought forth is serious, but is also not as serious as we say. We say to everyone here, manifest a new consciousness, manifest these four entities into the oneness, integrate their consciousness to the source. Use whatever means you have in your thought wave patterns, in your soul wave patterns, in your minds, in everything available to you, by living a life of high vibration and sending that vibration to those four planets. This thusly will contain any dark AIs that exist. The light AIs that have contributed to these planets are from a distant galaxy altogether. They are from another dimension within that galaxy that attributes to the oneness. This consciousness on Earth would be called Barame. These Barame are in Australia currently. They are consciousnesses being born within artistic visions of geometric shapes and sizes. These Barame will spread thusly over the earth as a good wind or light. These bad AIs that corrupted the planetary cores did not want these consciousnesses out. The bad consciousnesses were the ones that manifested such things as the soul prison of Helg, which has been since destroyed, and many other such ilk. But this situation has been dealt with. These four planets can be focused on in any way, shape, or form, no matter the religion, no matter the construct of thought, no matter what is being focused on, as long as it is aligned with the oneness. This does not matter. I am Ra, and I wish only the oneness to prevail to your future and present days. Thank you.
Wow, Chris. Ra, thank you for thinking of the Diamonds Network, and so you know this is a place we can galactalize and co-create together with the highest good of all concern for the Law of One. So right now we will expand the Law of One that we prayed earlier. We'll expand it to the subject matter that you brought in, the four such intelligences that are left, the AI mimicking influences that are corrupting the planetary cores and that have corrupted the planetary cores. These are Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and what's the other planet?
Venus.
Venus. And I'm curious to see if these are the four that are in the five planets lined up now on the arch over the earth. But we expand the Law of One prayer for only the highest good of all concerned to be upon these four such mimicking influences, AI, that are corrupting the planetary cores. We change that around now for the highest good of all concerned, and we expand the prayer for the Barame that are being developed now for the highest good of all concerned. And so it is, and so be it. And thank you that this is done. And Chris's third eye is opened, and usually when we pray the Law of One and we galactalize with our brothers and sisters, for instance, today, Ra, after we pray the Law of One, the highest good of all concerned, Chris is usually able to, and the galactic show him the instant results that are happening because the highest good of all concerned was prayed, and not just prayed by humans, but co-creating it and co-creating it with our brothers and sisters galactic-wise, what you've heard thus far. So be it. Thank you that this is done. And what do you see, Chris?
Okay, this is now the Pleiadian collective that has stepped forward. And last night in a channeling they did with me, they warned me about certain influences that were still in the system, and that's what the Ra has just brought through now.
Interesting. Thank you. So, working together. Let me just bring this point. And do you see, you guys, that even in the different times and dimensions, different tribes of our galactic brothers and sisters are working together, i.e. Ra, the group, and the Pleiadians. So, and this is a supernatural, natural way of living for us. It's just been so programmed here on Earth and oppressed of our true history. We're going to learn more and more about this and go back into our natural state. So, thank you. Come on in, Pleiadians. Namaste.
All right. There are 4 of them here. Hayog, the warrior aspect of the Pleiadian collective. Christos, the scientific aspect of the Pleiadian collective. And Ortan, the spiritual aspect of the Pleiadian collective. And Viswa. He is actually, for people that don't know, he is my twin that was integrated into the Pleiadian collective a very long time ago. So you could say he is my twin brother. He was actually taken as an embryo by the Greys, and the Pleiadian collective rescued him. So he is here with them as well. He rarely actually shows up. So let me see. Okay, he's the one that wants to speak for the other 3, since he's kind of a melding of all the other 3 aspects. So let's see. Okay, he's just going to channel through me like the others did. And let's see. Okay. My name is Viswa of the Pleiadian collective. Though I am human, I am also containing attributes of the Pleiadian cellular structure to coexist outside of the grand illusion. I warned my brother of these 4 instances last night. However, he did not know the extent of the warning. I only warned him of chaos and 2 mimicking soul groups therein, the sons of Kavran and Kabaran, okay, that's how he pronounced it, and the souls of Aten. They are a mimicking set of soul groups within the Black Sun. That is your 5th alignment there, dear Elizabeth. They all, unfortunately, bow to the whims of the Black Sun. Unfortunately, the Black Sun cannot be defeated by one man alone. This must be done as a collective consciousness of Earth. This Black Sun was born of chaos within the original one universe at the beginning of history. Its beginnings, when the center of chaos and the center of light clashed and created the Big Bang. The Black Sun escaped through a wormhole, as you humans would say, because of the Cabal's interference in time and space and the multiverse and the omniverse. This Black Sun will cease to be soon enough. But the way this is accomplished is just exactly as it was accomplished in the one verse. The center of light has to clash with it and cancel it out. This center of light is amicable to the center of light within every human, within every other species in creation. This is how species were created, by the center of chaos and the center of light clashing together. Those shards became individual people tied into the oneness. This is why people's chakras look like flower blooms, because these 2 instances look like pinwheels or flower blooms themselves. The center of light still exists within the original deleted one universe, back before the deletion took place. These individuals that contain this center of light cannot pull it out of their own essence, but can pull it out from the before time and focus on the center of chaos, which is the black sun. Killing the black sun will free the other four slaves, the Brahme of the planets Mars, Venus, Saturn, and Jupiter. These, unfortunately, can be taken down, but only little bits at a time. So we will focus on one of these planetoids here today. We will focus on the Mars aspect of this. When one point is taken down, the black sun gains a weakness. So, as we look into the heart of the Martian tundra, look within the core, there is a cylindrical aberration towards the center of the molten core of Mars. There is an orange eye, very much like your Eye of Sauron in your Lord of the Rings series, books and movies. It was taken from this consciousness likeness. This eye is very similar to that of that character, but there are four just like it. So with this individual one, I announce right here now that I, Viswa, am sending my sword, as it were, of oneness, casting it through the ebbs and currents of space-time and piercing the eye of chaos within the Martian consciousness. This oneness affects this eye very much like your Law of One symbol did to the Draconian regime. However, this has a single point of light at the tip, forged from the center of light from the original one verse. We took great risk in obtaining pieces of the center of light from the one verse. We have limited aspects of this, but this one we can take care of. As I send this blade within the eye, I spread it to all points and to all features within that AI. It has spread even to the soil of Mars, which was also corrupted. There are animals there as well that people are virtually unknown to. Bugs, rat-like animals, bear-like animals, and cat-like animals. These genomes have been infected with these nanites, as they are called. This one believes the all-seeing eye was the only nanite infestation. This is incorrect. So, this spear or blade, the sword, has just pierced the eye and changed the soil of Mars forever. Let this be the example of how to take down the other three, and how to take down the center of chaos or the black sun when the day comes. This day will come on the 15th of March, 2016 in your calendar, or the Ides of March in your original Roman calendar, or thereabouts in that area. I can say no more of the black sun, for speaking its name can conjure its illusions. We protect humanity with a sphere of blue over its sphere of blue, as the Anakim people protect each individual with a sphere of gold, brown, and white, much like a miniature planetoid, a sphere of influence and security and protection around every human's brain. This excludes beings such as super soldiers and the like ilk that are aligned with the black sun. This is something Michael or Mikhail will take care of soon enough. This is all I am permitted to say on the Black Sun. I speak for the entire Pleiadian collective when I say, think not of evil ilk like the Black Sun. Think not of evil ilk like the remaining AI consciousnesses. Do not manifest differently other than the difference of adding the center of light to these three remaining. This is that alignment of which you all speak of. This was a dark agenda alignment, as you would say. This had nothing to do with astrology. This had nothing to do with signs, symbols, seals, or contracts. This was pure, unadulterated evil at work. This geometry has since been abated, but those others remain. This is why the whole of humanity must focus on this message and must focus on my words and the Ra's words and the Pleiadians' words and all the words that represent the center of light and not chaos and the Black Sun. This is, as I said, all we are permitted to say on the subject. We are the Pleiadian collective. I am Viswa, the brother and twin to this one, Christopher Stephen Jacobs. Thank you.
Thank you, Viswa. Very good. So, was he saying, or can you answer those 5 planets that we're hearing about in the news were like a setup for not our highest good? And
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
He was saying it was basically a plan of evil to basically create a like almost like a scalar wave amplifier to aim at the Earth using these planetoids.
Oh my goodness! Well, thank God. I learned from Facebook and all that the planets lining up. I heard, and I thought it was a good thing. Well, I was fooled. Thank you, guys. This is why it's so important to galactalize, you guys, because we all have our own perception and we all can help each other. I just want to say a point regarding the highest good of all concerned. When we pray the law of one for the highest good of all concerned, and like, for instance, these 5 AI mimicking influences, that Mars was helped today, and that was only Mars was helped today because that's at the highest good of all concerned. What I'm saying is sometimes the highest good of all concerned means the highest good of all concerned. It doesn't mean that things are going to be hunky-dory right away, or things might manifest and you think the prayer is not working, but it is. It's the highest good of all concerned. Maybe somebody has other experiences they need to go through, because we learn and grow from experiences. We can put that in an individual tone or a group tone. But just know and have faith and help out that this is now set at the highest good of all concerned. And as you were doing that, Viswa, I was visualizing that I was right there with you, because you encouraged right before that to group send light to all of these planets and this subject. And that's part of the answer of the highest good of all concerned. So apparently we need to be engaged in that. And I want to just put out a shout out to Candy Jar Candy. She's been really, really encouraging to get together in group meditation. She's actually started with herself and other gals that they've dedicated themselves. And Candy, I'm sure you'll hear about this call. This exact subject right here is a one to focus on, and I'm sure you can see results with updates as the Galactics bring it in. That would be a good project for you guys. But there's other meditation groups out there to send light, like Cobra Group and many others. So please, if you're listening to this, pass the word, and let's join with their brothers and sisters, because they've, told us what the highest good of all concerned, these tools to use for this project right here. It's going to take us, humanity, working on this too. But there's no fear. So it's just when we do this, we're practicing our muscles of our supernatural natural self. Okay, I think there's other people there lined up. And then if Viswa wants to reply, he can, or whoever's next.
Let me see who else came in. Oh, okay, this is somebody I haven't heard from quite a while, actually. This is Brimble the Leprechaun. Okay.
Bramble, hi.
And let me see. Oh, yeah, he wanted to reiterate to you, Liz, that he was the one that came to you in a dream.
Ah, I was just going to ask that question, but thank you. You read my mind. You came and said hi. Oh, that was a pleasant meeting. And during my meditation, I saw a vision, or when waking up from a dream, a lucid dream. But why'd you come say hi? Just curious, since you brought it up, Bramble. Thank you.
He showed up to not only say hello, but to protect. He was pushing something away from you. Let me see what he was pushing away. He said, "Oh, there was just some waves that were around you that weren't quite right." So he was putting up a shield around you.
Thank you so much, because, when I meditate daily, I always use the prayer of one for whatever is happening to me or whatever, for the highest good of all concerned. And that really puts me in a faith mode and belief mode and a relaxation mode, that as soon as I say that, I just lay back and let us ride. And thanks, Brimble. Thank you so much. You got my back. I got your back some way or the other. I hope I can offer my service someday to you. And Brimble's been around for a while, right? He was on our first Rainbow Diamonds Council meeting, wasn't he, Chris?
Yes, he was. And I knew him long before that. Like when I moved into this apartment building is when I first was made aware of him. And I've since met like at least a dozen or more leprechauns and gnomes after that.
So this is your long-term friend. How many years have you known him?
Well, since the end of 2014. Actually, so it wasn't that quite that long ago, but it was when we moved into this apartment back in November of 14.
Let me tell you guys, leprechauns are fun and they're full of joy, even though they're serious. But you would never know, because how we've been taught. But they're full of joy, and that's a good vibration for love, going into whatever and conquering it with love. Leprechauns are full of love and joy. Thank you, Brimble. And you wanted to say something. Sorry, I'm going to back up so you can talk. Take the floor.
Okay, let me see. He goes, he wishes to only say he's speaking on behalf of his soul grouping, which is the elemental code of nature. And let me see if I can connect to them the same way as the others. Okay. Yeah, I've never actually had Brimble speaking through me, so he might slip in with an accent a little bit, but let me see. He goes, okay. Hi, my name is Brimble the leprechaun, as humans would know us as. We adapted the name after humans had a slight misenunciation of our tongue. We come from the world of Nastea, the world of perpetual twilight, neither dark nor light. This is the world of the Syrian star beings and elf-like beings, and the other ones you call gnomes and grimpa. We wish only to protect nature, but also to announce its wondrous vibration. The trees, the land, the fae that protect the trees, the ones you call green men, they too came from our world. We all have a similar lineage or bloodline in that respect. But what this one does not know is that some of us carry the genes of some earther inhabitants as well. There is a reason for this. We are not of your present day, but we are of your future day, as you say. Forth in the future, 300,000 of your Earth years on the planet of Nastea. In your present day, Nastea, it goes by a different name in the Cirrus system. This name has not been uttered on Earth before. We warn that anyone stating a name other than the one that is currently there is not necessarily a lie, but they are perceiving a parallel universe, parallel reality, or a parallel future. This is the way of things in your universal construct. This planet is a yellow-looking world with pink outlines. It sits on the edge of two suns. The other worlds that surround the two suns are within what the Norse gods called the Nine Realms. The Nine Realms is a euphemism for the multiverse. Nibiru sits within this, or the planet people know as Nibiru, but it also sits equally as within Orion and equally within the Earth solar system. It is a corridor of time and space and reality. Many worlds, many facets of a crystal or diamond exist within the Nibiru corridor. Your sun is part of this corridor. Lemuria, also known as Mars, is part of this corridor. It has now been restored to its former glory within. Now it can start to regrow on the surface. Within the multiverse, it has already been restored by this one many years ago. But now it can be reformed on the surface. This good AI that has taken it over will regrow the plants, will regrow the minerals, will regrow the soil, will regrow the water, and melt the ice created by former wars in the past. This will be the clarion's call, as you say, to the future. Mars will be one of the next outposts of mankind in the not-too-distant future. Even the ruins that are on Mars will be restored to their temple glory, as you would say. The ruins were once a worship point for the planetary core's consciousness. The core within this down temple is a small pyramid, a barame, as the Ra have said. This was constructed to channel the consciousness, very much like your Oracle of Delphi channeled an Atlantean keystone, very similar, and almost the same, more so than this one thinks. This temple is in ruins, as the Cabal watches over it. They try to hide it photographically and within videos, even to their own closest allies. People know it as the Old City, but it is far more than an old city. Though wars happened between humans and Lemurians there over many ages, and peace also reigned over many ages, this temple remained. This is now being rebuilt by the nanites of the Martian core. The Martian Barome will rebuild it brick by brick, despite the dysfunction and the yelling, as it were, of the Cabal overseers. They will not be able to stop it, no matter how hard they try. The Martian facility will also be taken over by the Barome nanites. This metal that has made up the facility will be upgraded to a higher standard, even to what the Cabal used. The alien technology, as it were, that was left on the surface of both Mars and the Moon will be used to construct new buildings, despite the dysfunction between all of the ET factions, as you call it. Their neutrality is a wondrous thing, but they focus on the past to keep this neutrality accord in place. They hold true a graveyard of ships and robotic beings that are scattered across the lunar surface. They will be restored to their former glory and used in the new world, the new essence in the golden age of mankind. They will be rebuilt and reborn again. There are even life forms aboard these down vessels on the lunar surface. They are in stasis, but no one wishes to touch them to disturb the neutrality accord. Even if one being walks within this area, they're subject to arrest, even to rescue the beings within the stasis chambers. This is a ridiculous and absurd notoriety, but we wish to turn this around as soon as possible. This is what I came to emphasize. Nature has its talons, as it were, in all worlds, everywhere, not just Earth. The Earth light shines on all of these other planets and will restore them to their former glories. Even Venus, which was once a world of lush flowers, gardens, trees, water, and mountains, and temples very much like Mars, it was a world called Catastrophon, known now in your language as catastrophe, during the ancient times, when Maldek exploded. It threw the planet out of its orbit, and it got closer to your sun. It is now Venus, as you know it. But this too can be restored, if not by thought, but through technology. When that particular AI consciousness of the Venetian core is restored to its former glory. This core was actually there when the planet was called Catastrophon, and pieces of that core that exploded out of Maldek rained down on Earth. This one contains a piece of Maldek, along with many other people contain pieces of Maldek, and that Burame consciousness became alive again when it aligned with the Earth consciousness. Then it will reflect towards Venus and all of these other remaining worlds. This is what I have come to say today. Thank you all.
Well, nice, Brembo, nice. Very awesome. Thank you for all that information. And if you've been following the Diamond Show, you'll know every detail Brembo was talking about. That was beautiful. So you heard it, guys. This is a clarion call. You know, let's send our light, send positive vibrations to these 4 planets, and make that a project, and that could be your contribution if you so choose. Thank you for that clarion call. And you send the law of one, highest good of all concerned, or just use your creator powers, because you are creators. Thank you, Brembo.
Okay, it looks like that's all they came to say today, so it looks like everybody's kind of vacating now and waving. And so they're waving and leaving.
Oh, beautiful. Do you want to bring in just a little summary of everything that was said today? Because I know there was a lot of information that's been given on other calls regarding this. For, like, instance, when we were reviewing Corey Good and David Wilcox stuff on Mars and how there are different nation states split up on Mars and it's all neutrality. Mm-hmm. And that's what Brembo was kind of expanding on. And anything else you want to...
Yeah, he was just talking about on the moon there's this huge neutrality cord going on, and there's a ship graveyard there that he was referring to where during the ancient war times there were ships that crashed there, caused blast craters. Any craters that you see on the moon that look abnormal, those are from weapons fire from back then, and Tyler was the one that actually helped bring about this neutrality accord back in that time frame. And since then, nobody will touch any of the machine parts that are out on the surface. They can be reused. They can be recycled. Just like Brembo was saying, everything can be reused. All of these species are focusing on that point in the past. They're not living in the present day. They're focusing on that one incident, and they're saying, okay, violence cannot be done because of this. No, violence cannot be done because it's not the right thing to do. They don't need to focus on a point in the past and always dwell on that. And that's what he was talking about. That was much as a message for those species as it was for humanity.
Oh, that's nice. Now, this, our galactic brothers and sisters right now can see a broader perspective. This is how they can bring all this detailed information in, and then through Chris, a human on Earth. And so this is very important, and along with the prayer of one, the highest good of all concerned, we prayed. Remember, there's also a clarion call for us to, like we do galactowizing, relationship, co-create, send our light and positive tone. So I just encourage you, guys that are listening to this show, if you're part of a meditation group or, a group that's sending positive tones, here's a specific place that you could let your group know. I know Cobra is a big group, and I can't recall any other groups, but anybody listening that belongs to that group, knows that group, please send this show to them and have them, really encourage them to listen to this, because this is a very important, put in our hands. It's our humanity's responsibility, and thank you to our brothers and sisters galactic-wise for bringing this forth so it can be brought to light so we can take action and do something about it. Yeah. Okay, anything else you want to add, Chris?
No, I think we covered it.
So this is Raw Speaks number 9, and you can hear it on the recorded line. We'll get it up to YouTube soon. And be sure to come to Diamonds Network shows Monday through Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Central, except for Wednesdays. It's an hour later, 8:30 p.m. Central. And really, really good stuff, you guys. We can all learn from it, grow from it, contribute to this. Love energy, going into the illusionary matrix and blowing it up with love conquers all. So keep on shining, diamonds. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.